Is everybody understanding? Because everybody's little box working.
No.
I know it's translated. I'm just saying I want to make sure it's working so the jokes work too.
Yeah.
It's gonna work. If you don't
Yeah.
understand it. Okay, everybody set up? Everybody got it going? Okay. Let me switch this up. Okay, let's make sure you take it here. So there's only a few of us here, so this is nice that you come in. That's probably okay. I had like, when I was in Israel, 500 people I was doing this with. And so it was interesting because I still wanted to be personal. And so that's why I told it, I did my acting exercises and made sure that each person felt like whoever I was talking to, they felt that it was them, not a mentality. So I want to make sure we get taken care of. In the meantime, I'm going to sing a song.
Your experience here?
Let's talk about that. I was waiting to talk about that. My experience, I've only been here since, that seems like, no, that's been forever. Just because I thought got canceled anyway, so got pushed back just to stop out, stop over flight. I would go, what happened?
I say yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so bottom line is, I have to think that I've graded myself. Now, most acting techniques are about playing a character. I think that it's important that you live a character. Acting should be for the audience, like you're watching a documentary film, not like you're watching a performance. Because then you feel like a fly on the wall in the secret of being a part of people's lives that you shouldn't be a part of, which is always very compelling and very provocative. So if you feel like there's a performance going on, what happens is you feel like an outsider and not something that's being included. You want to feel like, for the audience, we're breaking fourth wall. For you guys, you can't break the fourth wall. But for the audience, they need to feel like they're inside with you, viewing things that they shouldn't be viewing because it's your secret world. Always really exciting. I base my technique in the science of behavior, behavioral science, and psychology, and cultural anthropology. Because these are sciences that really truly make up what make people do what they do. And the history, which is the cultural anthropology part of it, the history of mankind. There's certain things that never change, there's certain primal constants. I need love, I need power, I need a roof over my head, I need a family, I need to protect my family. There's certain primal constants that exist, whether it happened 2,000 years ago, whether it happened 100 years ago, whether it happens in space or in horror film. There are certain primal constants that exist that we want to tap into. And we want to tap into our own personalizations to make it real. I can't focus. Okay, so we good. The point is to be here. If you don't understand, you must comprehend. Let's comprehend. Okay, so I also believe that a lot of techniques, even though you're tapping into the honesty, it's like truth by itself is not enough. It's like watching paint dry. I just put white paint on the wall. Now it's really drying. It's truthful. It's honest. It's drying. But I don't want to watch that for 2 hours. I want to watch a journey. I want to watch somebody go from a point of like they hit bottom. And how do they get to the other side? How do they accomplish goals to overcome their physical and emotional pain and realities to get to the other side to accomplish whatever the goal is of that particular character. So we don't watch paint dry. But what we want to do is watch someone who is going through all this stuff, this pain, whether it's physical, it's emotional, whatever, and then use that instead of to just sit in it and wallow in it. What you do is you use it to fuel your way to overcome and accomplish greatness, whatever that greatness is that equals for the character. It is the recipe of all dynamic people in the world, whatever, if you're a leader, or a leader, you're a guru, you're a famous actor, you're a great artist, a great writer, whatever it is that you tackle, the recipe for greatness in this world of people who don't self-destruct with their pain, but they use it to fuel and overcome, to say, I am going to win, W-I-N, win, not only in spite of the pain and my issues and things that I'm going through, but because of it. That is the mark of greatness. You want to put that in your work. You put that in your work, your character will therefore be going on a dynamic journey, and we want to watch that. You know how like people like sit and complain, and they have all this emotion. This is people in life, and we're not going to do that acting, right? There's people in your life who go, oh, I feel sad, my boyfriend broke up with me, and I feel bad, and I feel like the people at work don't understand me, and blah, 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 blah. Well, here's the thing. If someone complains all the time, is like emotionally truthful again, and in pain again, all the time, what? You don't want to spend time with this person. Now, why would you want to spend money to go to the movies and to the theater to watch somebody that you don't want for free? Okay? So, if you're taking the same stuff and you're not wallowing in it, then we're watching you go, that's happening to me, I gotta get through it. That's happening, I gotta get through it. I gotta get to the other side to accomplish what, again, whatever your goal is as a character. Now, what was interesting about working this way is I've come to find that it leads in your personal life. It's a way to live your life. What a great way to take bad things that happen to you, pain and emotional things that happen to you, and figure, what am I supposed to learn from this? How am I supposed to change my life up so that doesn't keep happening? And change it so that I can be a successful person, whether it's love, whether it's career, or both. And I find that the people that work this way end up succeeding in all areas of their life, because it really is hard to not do this in your work and not see how effective it is in making Oscars, Tonys, Emmys, BAFTAs, and all these awards. Every country has people that have win awards that I work with. Because we support and we root for that person who's in that bad place and is willing to do something about it and not just sit in their shit. Is that it? Yeah. There it is. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I was watching a show the other day on History Channel about, it's called The Men Who Made America, but these are people like J.P. Morgan, Carnegie, Henry Ford. These are people that have created changes for the world. Now, it wasn't just America, but they were people who came from nothing and built up. I mean, Carnegie had, in today's dollars, was worth $500 billion. I mean, that's, but this is, and he came from poverty. But the one thing that the historians were saying, that the moguls like Bill Gates was on the show, it was a really interesting show. But one thing they would say over and over and over again, but took the poverty and turned that into an incredible dynamic dynamic results was the need and the impulse to win, to take whatever happens in your life and say, fuck you, basically. That's okay to swear here? Oh, yeah. Fuck you. Is that fuck you, I'm gonna win in spite of you and because of you. And there was a great story on Carnegie where he told him the Vanderbilt had told him that he would up the price of sending his oil from the Midwest of America to the East Coast. There was only one train line that did this, so he was forced, his hand was forced, right? To take this train and pay whatever Vanderbilt wanted to charge. Carnegie said, yeah, there's got to be another way. So, within the factory in the Midwest, there was these tubing that transferred oil from one part of the factory to the other part. And he says, we can do it within the factory, why can't we do it across the country? It took him a year. But he did it, he created the whole infrastructure of how we transfer oil today. And this happened 80, 90 years ago. And he did it, he laid the piping all across Ohio, all the way to the East Coast. Took a year to do it, but he did it, and he was able to go, fuck you.
Yeah.
So it's a whole idea of like taking that same information in terms of your characters. All writing, all scripts are always going to be based on someone going through turmoil, some drama. And then what they do with that turmoil and drama is what the audiences want to watch. You want to kind of create a reality where the audience is a movie section. We want you to win in spite of all the stuff that's happened. Oh, something else happened to you. Try to get beyond it, try to get beyond it. And so we're watching this from a very active participant, not just watching people cry. You know? You notice people win the Oscars, there's very few Oscar winners that are crying. A lot of like beginning actors will come up to me and say, how do I cry on cue? And I said, you don't really care to do that. You start doing that, and you're going to be one of those jerk-off actors, self-indulgent actors. Is this next one? Okay. I don't know. I try to say it's universally. Okay. Anyway, and so crying is not the issue. Taking and finding the pain of that person, of that character, understanding it from a personal place, where it's really profound, deep choices that you're making, scary choices, and then trying to overcome it, to overcome and win, is what we want to see from the beginning, middle, and end. So what we have is like we see the journey of getting there, and a lot of like roller coaster rides. They get hit with the solar plexus. They fall. They go brush themselves off. And I'm gonna win, and then they fall again, and something happens to them, and then they try to win again, and it becomes a kind of thing that ultimately becomes a crescendo. Something explosive happens, whether it's emotional or physical or both, and then the other side of it is the win, and we all can walk away going, yay! And then you tell all your friends to watch, watch this movie or a TV show or a play, and they want to watch you. That's how you become a star. I want to see that person because every time I go to see them, whether it's a TV movie or play, they always make me feel good. And I'm watching them take the same pain I have. This pain is universal. Everybody has the same stuff. But they're doing something about it. They're winning with it. And I'm getting to the other side of it. If they can do it, then maybe so can I. And you walk out of the theater movies from the TV set, and you feel good. And you tell all your friends, you gotta watch this, and you want to see it 3 or 4 times, and you follow that actor's perform wherever they're going to be, because you know every time you see that person, it's going to make you feel good. A great example, that you guys see Blindside?
Yes.
awkward as the day is long. It's, I mean, in not a good way. Sometimes soap operas can be really fun. You know? Okay, you say sometimes it can be fun. I would be on other things soap operas. Guys, okay, anyway. They put the humor in. There's always not good humor behind like all that drama and stuff. This one too. And what she did was, as opposed to making it be about for me and for this guy that I'm trying to take care of, I'm gonna, you know, so everybody saw it. Everything that kept falling against her, she kept saying, I'm gonna win in spite of all that, no matter what. Humor was elicited, pathos was elicited, and we wanted her, when we rooted for her. And there's been lots of movies like that that didn't make her money. She won an Oscar. And he made so much money, it's crazy how much for a movie of this time. But normally it's just simply a bad TV movie. It's a script. This is where you can like really kind of transcend the whole, it's not a good script stuff, you know. So now I'm going to open it up to questions. That's the baseline of what I do. Oh, you guys, in terms of like understanding how to do this, my book, The Power of the Actor, explains it all very, very carefully and easily. Most books about acting are theoretical, and there's nothing much you can do with theory other than talk about it. This is a real nuts and bolts how to do script analysis with examples from how I helped Caligari get an Oscar, how I helped Eva Mendes take a small part into a starring role in Training Day, and blah, 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 blah. Brad Pitt, you know, his working class, that kind of stuff. This is the English version. And this is the Spanish version. Now, if you can read English, it's better to try to get the English one because it's my voice. And they did edit some stuff out to help easier make the book, but there's exercises in the English version about like how to get to organic drug highs, how to get to really be on heroin. Like I was Beyonce on a movie called Cadillac Records, and everybody thought she was really on heroin. And here's a woman who's never taken drugs. She has a glass of wine, she's a big drinking. She is not into any of that, but like I gave her exercises to do because the inner work of what drives people to want to do heroin in the first place. And people were saying she looked like she had taken heroin. Adrian Brody, Oscar, when he comes up and he says, "Are you on something?" He was on the movie, and she was just doing exercise, and the stuff works. I have a girl who looks like they're talking about she's going to be up for an Oscar this year. A movie called Smash. And her name is Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and she is supposed to be an alcoholic and crackhead, smoking cocaine. And she's never done anything. So we had to like use what her addiction is in her life. And she has this real, we talked about this class, we workshopped the material class with the director, with the writer, and with her. And what we did was, we had to do is figure out what created that addiction in the first place. You don't just go straight to the source of what it feels like. If you, why do people want to do that drug or that or use a drink? And then you personalize that. And then you go to the organic drug high exercise because you need to put the pieces together and you have need to do it, not just the physicality of doing it. So since we workshopped in class and we talked about it in class, I didn't say it out loud because people knew. But she was addicted to a family member who was very impressive in a loving way, unintentional. But this family member just kind of acquired Mary's, career, her life, to be what made her define her. And so there was so much pressure on her. And she was such a lovely, parent, such a lovely person that she felt bad. So she thought she needed to keep bringing her in. But she knew that it felt bad because she was an adult woman to keep that connection. So it's the struggle of an addict is you hate that you're an addict, but you can't help yourself, you gotta keep doing it. So it worked beautifully, and it should be it came out in the States a couple weeks ago, but again, it's like, they're talking Oscar nomination for her in all the magazines and stuff, and she is, like, before this movie, really knew who she was, you know, so like, we look her, she's getting all these big movies. Anyway, so the English version has some more than the other, so if you can't speak English, and you can read English, you get that, or get both, you can do both, and this way you can clarify. If you want to speak Spanish, Spanish was a good translation from what I understand, because I don't speak a little bit, but I've opened it to people that speak Spanish, and it's a really good translation. Okay, so there we go. This is so, I get this thing, I feel like I'm baking. Questions? Yeah.
So it's very interesting that you started, you say that your technique is more based in human behavior, science of human behavior, and then how you went on to say, you know, it's you know, watching honesty is not enough, right? I feel like a big hang up, or at least in you and an actor, big problem is that we're always trying to transform, right? We're trying to be something we're not. I love to be an actor. I mean, it's not me, but I'm saying in general. I love to be an actor because I get to be everybody but myself. See, but I find the most compelling performances is that they bring themselves to the screen. So, what would your advice be to be able to specify a character outside of like your normal?
Think about this. We are a lot of different people.
Yeah.
Inside of us. We have moments that get triggered by particular people or events that make us want to be a killer. There are moments in our life where we want to be a hero. There are moments in our life we want to be a full-on war. There's moments in our life that we want to be a saint. There's moments in our life that we want to cause destruction. And on and on and on. We got those pieces inside of us. And that's what they will carry. I was talking about, she's never done it, you know, drug or certain alcoholic. Finding the connection. They call it taking a fraction of who you are and turning it into a whole. Therefore, you become a full-on character. And do something, and it doesn't, you'll even feel yourself having impulse to do things. You go, where did that come from? I've never done that before in my life. It's just really cool. But that's how you do it. You want to be triggered by the truthful impulses, not by your ideas in your head. Especially in comedy. Comedy, you come with a funny bit, I will guarantee you 100% it will fail. If it comes from a place, comedy is based in desperate need to do something, and you're going to do the stupidest, crazy stuff to get it. And the outside goes looking at laughing, you inside is going, this isn't funny, and you're really desperate. If you think it's funny, it's too light, it's not going to work. Just think about every time, any of you think about the craziest things, funniest things you've done. We look back on it and laugh. At the time, it was like really hyper serious. The time when you stalked your boyfriend or your girlfriend, you said, you never done it before. Gone to their emails. What am I doing? Going to their emails. But no, but yeah, I know myself. You're watching someone do that on film, and you're like, funny, she's going like this, or like, they hack in, and push something, it's like you're trying to like look like nothing happened. But that's real. People do stuff like that in desperation. So I always say comedy is darker and more desperate than drama is. And you will find that you will have comedic, because I work with a lot of comedy people around a lot of comedies. I also think that it's really important to put humor, even in the darkest drama, it brings two-dimensionality of life. If you look at technicals in everything he does, whether it's drama or comedy, he always confuses the humor with behavioral humor. It's like wanting something so bad that you find yourself doing things in spite of yourself that's comic behavior. It's like when I worked with Carrie for all those years, it's like all that crazy behavior is coming from desperation and a need to be liked, you know, and it's just because he always never felt like he fit in. He was a generous son. had no money, they lived in a car for a long time, the other kids made fun of them. So all they wanted to do was fit in and be liked. So all that for emotion was like, you see that, think about his performances. Like me, and it's all this kind of crazy manic behavior. It doesn't come from his, I'm just a funny guy, I don't know what's on the bits. That comes from real need and desperate need. It's interesting, when I first started working with him, he had done a couple of meetings and a TV series, which bombed, all which bombed. And he called me up because he said, I can't get an audition. I'm just going to revive in the industry because he sucked it. So what he was trying to do was be funny, and he goes, he was a stand-up comic. So he just thought, well, I'm just going to be funny. Well, I'm telling you, 100%, that nail of comedy, you cannot try to be funny. You have to go after what you want. And that's what people that are funny, like say, in this country, are funny because they want something so bad, they're not attractive, say, they want people to think of them as someone worth talking to, even though I'm not very attractive, and so they're doing all this stuff and then kind of behavior ensues. So I gave him the truth of desperation, using me as a child in Jane, and he adores her. And we always used her as a sort of emotion to like, I need you to love me, or I need you to protect you, or you were feeling the same thing I felt growing up. And this like dire need to do this just kind of put him in this like this place of kind of behavior that happened accidentally, not because it was his mistake to do that. So in terms of creating character, you can be all kinds of characters. You just got to trigger that part of you that makes sense to the character on the page. So first you look at what is the character's journey? What does the character want out of life as overall objective? What does the character want in scene? It has to support the overall objective because it's one big journey, it all connected dots. Then you look at how does that person negotiate? How does that character negotiate? How does that person get what they want? And then you have to say, now how does it make sense to my life? And that's the process. No, that is the usual truth. Think about this.
So I'm gonna be a great black, like I will never be a great 6-year-old black woman, but what is she going through? That's as if, like, you know, it's as if we were talking to my father. You know, it's using that like,
Okay, let's a better example. Okay, so Halle Berry did Bouncer's Ball. And she was going to go to the South. She's from Ohio, which, you guys know, America is so not the South.
yeah.
Okay, so she was going to go to the South, do her research and do all this stuff and try to be with some of that poor black women and stuff. And I said, no, we have enough of that stuff in your own world. So it's like, so what we did was we go, where's your impression? Where do you feel like people judge you? Where do you feel like you work so hard to change people's minds and they still don't like change? So we use issues of some family issues. We use the idea that she grew up in an all-white neighborhood and she was black. Her mother was white. So it's a weird, like, dynamic that they see the mother and she was okay, they see the kid, not so much, and the father was long gone. And so it's like she could not fit in, she was judged. But she also had like feels, I don't want to get into, but that had some inner family stuff that she was using. So we put all those pieces together. And then ultimately found her depression, found her need to change people's mind and think blah, blah, blah. And so that when she was doing it, she wasn't playing a Southern black woman, she was playing all the same elements from her own world so she could live it out.
Nice.
It is correct, like, if you use a situation from your past, it, like, not those little cases, like a real situation, if you are on stage and you don't find it in the moment, like, you need to remember.
I don't want to find it in the moment like that. I don't do that way. I work on the stuff that's happening to you today. You don't know how it's going to end up. Because say something happened 7 years ago, it's been that way. Okay? And you try to recreate that. Well, the truth of the matter is all you have to do is vomit it out because you already are over it. You already know you can survive it. It's like the time when someone splits up with you, for example. this really great person. And so not only did I survive it, but I'm in a better place because of it. And so you try to go back to that place, it's going to be like, kind of build stuff, and it's going to have this vast emotional energy, and then it's going to go away. Yeah, it's gone. Because let me tell you something about the human, how we operate as human beings, just our bodies. We have great checks and balances in our human system. Our conscious mind forgets, is in denial, changes the reality of it. So to be able to exist and not be in pain all the time, it's a checks and balances. The subconscious remembers it like it just happened. And so our conscious mind is constantly in play to keep you from being in pain. So when you try as an actor to pump up something that happened a long time ago, you'll get there, and it's in your subconscious. But your conscious mind will go, I won't go there, and it will stop. And then you try to pump up again. Let me show you some, when people are trying to like really push out emotion that's not really present, it looks like they have constipation. So constipation, not for you don't want to go on the toilet. I am. Most people are doing this but I go to a place, it's like, this is what I'm going through today. I'm having issues. So I always tell people, it's like, whatever we do is our foundation. If something happens today that's just like, goes your way, so you die. The director you're working with, the thing will dick to you, I can use that. Give me my power back because you just diminished me in a really bad way. So I need my power back from you. But it's so real, and you don't know how you respond, so you're really going to be in the moment, which is cool. However, let's go back to past stuff. There's certain past things that are part of our present, and often it comes from, this is what psychology is. It emanated from childhood issues. So the childhood issues we could bring up as, say I'm using my father in this, wanting to love you, I never felt he abandoned me. And I feel like I need to, okay, I'm trying to do this really clearly. You never lose any of abandonment, so it's present. It may have started back then, and you can bring it back to that place, like a little kid, because a little kid energy is so it's very focused. You're in that little kid place, you don't really want it. And so you notice how the big star actors you love so much are like little kids and big people bodies. Because their focus is so just like a kid. The kid wants a toy. They'll negotiate. They'll have tantrum. They'll threaten. They'll seduce. They'll whatever it takes to get that toy. And you want that same focus as an actor. So it's something like so you have issues of say abandonment issues with father, and what happens is the seed of abandonment. In the same way in life, everybody becomes like a symbol for the person who did it to you in your primal family. So all of a sudden, the people in your present life suffer for the sins of either your past ex-girlfriend or your past boyfriend or for your parental or sibling. You know, so it's you go to the source, so you're in the rock, you want to act in the fire. And sometimes you just have this stuff happen with your ex, where you just can't get your ex out of your head. It's unrequited love. You use that person because it's still in your head. It's present. Or some people say, in their conscious mind, they say, well, it's not. I'm over that. And or some will say, I'm not over that. But you know what? You don't know until you try it. That's acting as a physical art form. It's not here. You gotta try everything. You gotta play. It's like an artist will put, I'm gonna put purple and blue and this on this, but you know what? I don't like the way the purple blue looks. I'm gonna change it up in my next incarnation of this stuff. It's like you have to keep playing. It's not a one-step thing. When you're a writer, you're a rewriter. People don't do line grab. Actors, when you're breaking down a script, it's not one grab. It's so here I'm gonna do the choreograph, I'm gonna do it once. And then you're ready to perform, go to the Olympics, you do it once. I don't work, you gotta practice, and do it over and over and try different things. So you try to say, that person, you say, well, I'm over. And you try it and you go, oh my God, I'm not over this, because this also is eliciting all kinds of stuff. Like in my class in LA, for example, what I'll do is like, I'll ask questions after I see the scene, and if something new isn't quite working, and I'll ask questions, I'll see how they move. And it's like I'm saying to you, you have, so tell me about your relationship with your mother, is your mother and father still together? And you'll say, is your mother and father still together? Okay, and is your relationship, how's your relationship with your mom?
It was really difficult growing up because I felt like she was nagging me and wanting to never got connected. And then when I got out of the house, we got super close. And
What about your dad?
super strong, like from forever.
So what is your, you know, things that I
Oh yes, you're right.
what is your father do for a living?
My father he just retired recently, but he was a referee for championship boxing. He traveled around the world. He was called a lot to a certain extent, and he was a negotiator for Teamsters. That was his hunting job.
Okay, so if you ever feel this kind of trouble, when the little kid doesn't understand, you ever feel, right? You put it, sounds like you put it on the pedestal.
And he put it on pedestal, actually. Yes.
If you didn't see her face, you'd see this light was going to grow, and she was talking about it. Look her face. She has this little kid, bright face, is going, hey. So like, this is usable. Mom, not so much. There's nothing much happening.
Yeah.
Wow, there's still some struggle with the idea that as a little kid, we don't understand daddy has to be away. You see how you get emotional about it? It's like me too. So my father was a labor negotiator.
Yeah.
Okay. And but he was never around because he worked himself. So he was a lawyer. Worked at 7 morning till midnight. He was giving free cases to poor people and civil rights and all that kind of stuff. He was doing all this stuff. He wasn't home to me. And so it's so he's so usable because I felt so abandoned. Even though I was doing for a good cause and you get to be here the family, I'm just thinking, you know, and see how it's like now that's a usable thing. I still have my dad's dead 23 years. And I still can get to emotional baseball. You see his presence. So that's part of like trying different things out. Funny, you know. Part of being an actor. So they always say that you take like the shit of your life. See, I also have a very abusive mother, a mother who was up so bad that like she broke things, like her nose and fingers, like it was very abusive, brutally physical. But I can't change the past. But I can say these are gifts for the artist to paint with. So instead of self-destructing with pain, we're creating with pain. And therefore, we're doing something wonderful with it. And that's why a lot of people say they don't need therapy when they start working this way. It just kind of, it takes care of all kinds of things in your life.
I was going to say, do you find that is like that is the artist's therapy? That is
Yeah,
therapy.
because it's the artist therapy, because it's the idea is it's not, when people understand therapy from its real source, therapy is, it doesn't take away the pain, it helps you cope with it. And so you don't destroy yourself with it. You live on a day-to-day, but it doesn't just make it disappear. Therapy isn't magic. Therapy just helps you cope with the pain. But how great it is to take the same stuff and go, I'm painting a beautiful canvas with this for everybody. There's millions of people who can see what you share. Oh, me too. And I feel that, and then you guys are overcoming it, so it would go back to the hope thing. And there's nothing more important in human life than to feel there's hope, that things can change, and you can live in a happy, contented way. If you feel immersed in the pain, and you just keep feeling it over and over, it becomes the point where suicide often becomes the answer. Now, you have something that you're painting that other people are appreciating it. It's the opposite. You feel cathartic. It becomes cathartic. What's that? lets it go. Because you're trying to win with it. If you just sit with it, it will feel icky. If you sit with pain, it will just cling to your nerves and cling to your insides. But when you're trying to use it to fuel your way to win, what happens is that it's out there. And there's a brightness that happens around you. It's like it's almost being available. It's really cool to watch people. We had on class Wednesday. Who just says, I'm going to take class, and I was really sick, and my boyfriend left me. Just took off. You know, and she said, I'm sick. And just took off 2-year relationship with how she left. She doesn't know. And she left. I said, this is the time you want to. So she did, she put I gave her a specific scene she could use it came about last night, which was a great scene. And the first time through, she was just feeling the pain, and you could tell her she sat down from it. It was just, she was still feeling like really awful. And I said, no, let's win with it. Let's go. Screw you. I'm going to win with this. I'm not going to let you, fuck with my head anymore. I'm going to challenge you, and I'm going to have fun doing it. It's always fun to get with them. It's tasty. It feels good. So she's doing this. It's getting laughs. It's getting tears. All this stuff. And after she was done, she was so good. She said, you feel better? She said, I feel great. And she was walking around. She was light. She walked into this feeling pretty like she was led. She was walking the led. And so it's a good thing to use the things that happen to you presently, or if they're instigated from something that happened before, it still stays in your heart. The absolute truth of your life is a richness of that. Say you're 30 years old. You got 30 years of experiences and feelings about those experiences, and how other people have responded to how you responded. Think about this, every day has 24 hours, and every year has 365 days, and take 30 times that. How much stuff you have to use. How hard is it to just imagine? When you have all that resource in front of you, every imaginable thing that has happened to you in 30 years, 20 years, 50 years, whatever, how many years you're on this planet, there is a richness of experience that's there for you to use. It's like your color box. But each time you have another experience, there's another color there.
Si tú estás en el set, en un proyecto cinematográfico, con una mujer como tú, con una maestra como tú, genial. Uno como actor siempre necesita de un director que le saque todo eso que uno pueda tener dentro. Para hacer un mejor trabajo. Pero ¿qué pasa cuando tú estás solo en el set? Cuando tú tienes un director que de repente es más técnico y se preocupa más por el cable, por la iluminación que por
I think where we're going with this, and tell me if I'm answering this properly. Okay. I don't work on set with people. I prepare you to go on set. The director is the captain of the ship. You got this in your hand. My way of working creates a foundation that is director friendly. Director will give you a note, and using the foundation that we've created, you can go any which way but loose. And then the director can have whatever it is that they want. But you prepare before you go. And I did with Halle Berry and Monsters Ball, Mark Forster, a very good time director, professor Monsters Ball, thanked me by saying, thank you for preparing me so well before she even came to set that all I had to do was point the camera to shoot. Now, here's the deal. Sometimes we're not going to be on the same page. But we're just creating a foundation of stuff that makes you want to win something. It's just saying how he wants to see it. It's like paint. I'm going to paint a wall. Now, in order for me to put paint on the wall, I need to have a wall. Okay? So to get that wall up, I have to create the foundation of the house, cement and the covering and the wood and build all this up and then put the wall and all the things that go up on against the wall that you need the plaster, the insulation. And then once I get that all up, I can paint it any color I want. So the director says, I'm not liking your yellow. You make blue and I said, sure. My foundations are. It's so, I work with a lot of directors. Directors love me. Directors send people to me. Big time directors, because they know that whenever they work with me, they can just give them their notes. They're not going to my visions, their visions, their movie. But they know they can do it like this because the foundation is so strong. And the only time I go on set is like with Beyonce, for example. She's a singer, so she doesn't know how to act. So she needed somebody there who was watching them do this. That's what people aren't trained at. That's why it's really important that you study. It's really important that you never stop studying. Even Mecca is coming in between movies. She comes to class of those scenes. And she'll say, I don't want to have classes this time. I'm a body this time. You know? And I want to work on this and this. And she'll come in and just keep her chops up. You know, it's like actors never stop training. You have to continue to train. There's always something more to learn. It's an art form. It's infinite. It's infinite. It's not like we're done. It's not math. In the world of the arts, 2 + 2 equals orange. Two is more. There's always. Did that answer the question? Yes. Okay.
Actually, well, I was wondering, what would be the best way to, when an actor gets stuck in one character, this actually happened in my university, Western Michigan. We were doing improv, we were doing plot, and one of my friends, he got too into the character. We actually, like a week ago, we went to one of those places where the homeless are, and he got like too much into the team. And when he was playing all the characters, he used to bring it into the scene. So like, what would be the best way?
We don't do that. It's like Laurence Olivier, Sir Laurence Olivier. So Dustin Hoffman, when he was doing the film, and Dustin Hoffman was a very young actor. And he said, I could get plays and he's hungover and drunk and having stuff with the music. So he said, I'm not going to sleep, I'm going to drink too much, and I'm going to show up on set, and I'm going to be like right there. And Sir Laurence Olivier said, just so doing all that is unnecessary. You know, also in this day and age of, you want to know what it looks like, or you want to know people talking from that, from wherever world she's in. Google it, YouTube it. You don't need to go into those environments. Those people are mentally ill. You're getting into doing the homeless people. It's like, you're not going to get the reality of stuff. They're going to be, you know, ranting. Imitating somebody, you're not going to like find the psychology of what's going on. People that, you know, find out like what, how it looks, so that you know from the inside, you're getting a feel for that person. You don't need to do all that stuff. It's just pointless. That's old method shit. Old method shit doesn't work. If you're in Hollywood, I'll tell you that really doesn't work. Then you come in there and you start doing one of those method things that you start, figure it out. Not gonna hire you. Not gonna happen. And the whole problem with like Meisner, which is all reactive, it's not driving the scene, it's really responding. That's only half of the human equation. We feel something and we do something about it. That's being a human being. We have a survival instinct that makes us move and do stuff. And the problems with say something like Meisner technique, or the ways with bachelors, I should say. That's not really common. Some people goes down a whole bunch of like levels and all of a sudden it's only this and not all the other stuff that he actually taught. But this technique and the way it started is like you feel something and you can physically feel it. Well, that's kind of pathetic. It's like someone who just feels stuff. If you're watching someone just do this your own feeling stuff, you can't be more of a snooze fest than I can imagine. It's just so boring. Because the rest is so, man, it sits in a hole. It makes no movement. I mean, honestly, people go from point A to point C. That's storytelling. Storytelling, you have to tell a story too. You're not just there to be entertaining. You're there to tell us you're part of the storytelling process. You must tell a story in the choices that you make. Or you're going, it's like going to the museum and looking at a painting for 2 hours. Because you still have feelings, lots of good stuff in that painting, right? It was beautiful. It maybe will be 10 minutes. But I don't have time for 10 minutes. The most I ever sat in front of the Mona Lisa, I think got 7 minutes out of it. But it's like, that's the Mona Lisa, okay? So you want to have something that kind of drives you forward. You have to react. Absolutely, it's part of the equation. You take things in. But what we do with that is what makes us interesting. And that's where your quirks come in. And that's what makes you as a unique person come in and do something that nobody else has done. Sometimes actually say, how do I do something in this part that nobody can do? And I say, if you really make this so important, that you really do it whatever the objective is, your weird quirks are going to naturally come out. You're going to get from anybody else who's going to do it in the place. And every single person here is different. It's so it's, and that's how you can be different. You're not going to be different by trying to do something bizarre. It's going to look weird. Again, next. This is like the weirdest flag. Shake the day here. And it's like, excuse me, I'm
Hermana Ivana,
Yes.
un placer conocerte. Quiero leer tu pensamiento, a ver si refleja lo que entendí de lo que has hablado. Leerte un pensamiento, a ver si refleja lo que he comprendido de lo que has hablado. El actor debe ahondar en su psiquis, alma.
That's hard to translate.
No, it's in our translation.
I think if you listen to the whole thing, you probably get it.
Yeah.
So it's right when I was listening to it, it's long, and it's conceptual.
El actor debe ahondar en su psiquis, alma, para dejar aflorar sus estados anímicos que reflejan su histrionismo vital.
Wow. That's hard to translate. It's like for us, it's like, you know, right? Pretty good. I just translated
It's easy to let go of your feelings that you bring up. If you're going after getting something, it doesn't stick. It's cathartic. Is cathartic translatable? Cathartic? You guys understand what I mean? Catharsis? Catharsis is taking that stuff and it finds an outlet. So it's like all this stuff, like I'm going to say, my athlete is a canvas. And so all that, the pain and the icky stuff doesn't stick. It goes on the canvas. So it's there. And so it's not in me. And I walk away actually feeling better. It's like a drug. You know, like you go to the zone, and it's like that place where you go to, it's like, I don't even know. I was just living it. And it feels like a drug, like no other drug. That's a good feeling. It's not a bad feeling. It's a fabulous feeling. But if you sit with it, and I'm just going to pump up this pain, that's the whole thing about the method thing, is it's like you sit in it. Remember when Halle Berry first actors came to me and I said, well, if you do this the right way, you only need a couple minutes to prepare before action. 2 minutes tops. You're using from your life, you're using previous circumstances and one before. It's no more than 2 minutes. So that the lives and the lights up before the curtain goes up. That's all it takes. And it's present, you're right there. And it's not going to disappear. You're not going to pump it up for 2 hours. You know, if you pump up something for 2 hours, your body's like I said before, is going to shut it down because it's going to. Only actors want to feel pain. Bottom line. Actors love their pain. But nobody else does. And nobody else wants to watch. It's like watching you jerk off, you know. It's like, they watch you jerk off and it's real good when you're jerking off. You remember other people do it, but it doesn't do you do. So actors love that feeling all the stuff. And the point is that you want to get people to see that I can let it go. It feels good to let it go. I do this song and it feels there's a light around it. And then you get the audience goes, how did you do that? What did you do? Yeah. I say that over and over again because that's the base of this technique. It is taking things to a place, you still got all that pain, you still got all that shit, you know, now that, but we're going to try to overcome it instead of sitting. And use it as a way to impassion your will to win, to make you passionate. Yes. That was your passion. Yeah, really better than passion. I think about passionless sex, passionless conversations. It's like, well, passion driving it. And so that pain and all that stuff you're talking about, it doesn't sit in you, it drives you. It's like being in a car, you have to have the fuel. You get from point A to point B, you can sit in the car and not go anyplace. Good. If you're homeless, I suppose that would probably be
It's a pretty crazy experience. Homeless one, actually, the experience that I had with my friend is about something. It was pretty great. Yeah, he helps a lot. My friend, he's still pretty smart.
Well, first of all, you didn't learn how to work this way, so look at it. You take that shit yourself and do something with it. And I think part of it is a little bit, a little drama.
Yeah, yes.
You know, it sounds like I still feel the pain, I still feel the pain. Why you should be an actor? Actors take things in. It's like I can't. It's like I broke my nail. I broke my nail. My husband's here, so how many times have I lived where you go? Where do you go?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, how many times have I over-dramatized things?
I'm not sure there's a mathematical number there.
It's beyond, but it's like people driving the car, we're usually all that far away from the car. But the drama. The guy loves his drama, he's not funny.
I know. Yeah, we'll kind of be like that.
Why should you do that?
So the theory is about over property.
It's not over-dramatized. It's a joy, otherwise you'll melodramatic. And melodramatic is more than that's the real drama. But it's like there are Annette Bening did this fabulous performance of being Julia.
Yeah.
She was over-dramatic or everything because everything, she was so insecure, she could constantly see her. So it was always like this, knocking like this, and being, you know, it's like that's what she needed. It was all very based in the truth of me. You know, and so, I mean, they end up, the result may be over, but the person doing it doesn't think they are. That's just who they are. You know, that's the main character. So if you want something so bad, so if you're playing retarded, for example, retarded people understand shades of gray. They understand black and white. My brother's retarded, so it's like, my mother is the head of the Card Association in Michigan. So I know that when someone comes in and you place a little chart or artistic or something, and right there, I know the impulses, what their needs are. And it's simply pure and simple, I need to be loved, I want you to love me, I want you to love me. Also, the body changes. So all those like shades of gray, where you can look like this, it's like, I need you to love me. Yeah, you need you to love me, and now you walk differently, because I'm coming to you to love me, and that's your impulse. And so, and then in terms of speech, it's like you do bringing in, I need you to love, very specific in terms of like personalization, also change your speech patterns. It's like, oh, this is creating character from within, not from without.
Good morning. Talking about casting and auditions, could you give us some tips on how should an actor prepare for it, and also what should the actor do when he's on the casting?
Every casting is different, you know, so there's, well, again, in art, there's no rules, so you can't, I think there's a million stories to break the rules that people say you can or cannot do in the audition process. What you gotta do is break down the script, and the way you would is if you were breaking it down. It's not the best actor. Bottom line, as a director, you just want the best actor, right? You want the best actor, you're not looking for tricks, something like that.
Now they do hold your paper and all that, you don't really care.
It's a busy consequence. Okay, but the thing is, you break down the script in such a way that you would if you were doing the part, but not as completely. So you make sure you have a moment before, so you're in the scene. Make sure that you have an objective. Substitution helps you make more real, especially if you're reading opposite somebody can't act. So this way you're hearing stuff that you need to hear to have your reaction. So you break it down with your hearing, your personalization, and what you're saying in your personalization, and then go for your objective, see how it finds its way. Now, the whole thing about holding pages, I'm going to use the holding pages. You should have it very familiar. You shouldn't have to memorize it. You also memorize the way you say it, and you get it to cement, and it doesn't come out real. So what you do is you work first, then you become familiar with the words, so you're kind of memorizing the words and the work at the same time. Keep the pages in your hand, you never have to look at them. I learned the hard way back when I was an actor. I thought it'd be real cool that I had the pages in my hand, and it's down to me and this other girl, the other girl, God, I had pages in my hand. Because it looks like I'll tell you what. Subconsciously, these people are looking at you. You don't have the pages in your hand, it looks like you're going to get a full performance, but you cannot do it in a unique situation. So it's not really good, you're not in costume, you're not on vacation, you can't touch things, and all of a sudden you're just kind of in a very kind of pressed situation. But if your pages in your hand, it just looks, oh, this is reading. And you subconsciously go, okay, this is a diamond in the rough. I'm going to get so much more when you're performing it. If they feel this is what you're going to get, and it doesn't matter how great it is, you will not get cast. They don't want it. You know, so you have to like really go after it, heart and soul, pages in your hand, so this feels like a diamond in the rough, and you feel like a diamond in the rough. Do the work. You gotta do the work. If you don't, you won't get hired. You gotta do the work.
The thing is, it's very different, like in the Spanish market, like they like, we have a,
How many Spanish words like
yeah,
this?
in the Spanish market, like they like us to memorize, not cold reading. Like in Hollywood, you just have your papers and it's a cold reading.
They want the pages down.
Yes, I don't understand why.
You don't memorize the pages in your hand. And I also think you can do this. I'm going to show you. Okay, so if I have to, wait, I need pages. Remember that, like, what a script looks like? Yeah, like that. Okay. What is it? I'm going to take like, if I go these sides. Okay, have your sides. Okay, don't even look at it. They could be, okay, like this. Okay, these are my sides. I'm not going to put, this is supposed to be memorized, right?
Yeah.
But I have to hit you in the middle of the scene, so I'm going to put you. It's a sound, it's right there, it's a problem. And those you do here. That was weird. Or you're just sitting there doing this, that's what's supposed to be happening now, and it's not as dramatic. Or you're supposed to, it's a sexual moment. Take your, whatever, yes, I'm going to use you.
But it really is. It really is. Be the best actor. Be the best actor.
Yeah, okay, but the thing she's saying in Spanish part.
Yeah.
It's like, I think the best actor is true of all, and I do workshops all over the world, okay, all over. I've been in Israel, Romania, Denmark, Australia, soon to be all over South America, and Canada, and there's nothing different. What they want to see is good acting. I have helped people, and I do workshops. This is not a workshop, no idea if you've seen it from the that you have to rehearse them. You have 3 weeks to rehearse it. Read the book, rehearse up, rehearse with that information from the book. We'll put up a scene the next day. We can rework the scene off my notes. We can rehearse that. That's a ridiculously intense process. People's lives have changed. And this is wherever you are, there is no this in this world it's this, and this world it's that. It's just not been the case so far. I've had people ask me to come to, I'm going to Venezuela to do a workshop at their QVGA kind of thing. And they invited me to Mexico, they were going to be inviting me to listen to war with the cartels or something, and they want to keep my head. And I said, just there it is. Not here. But the point is that it just works, you know. So in terms of audition situations, you have to do good work, you have to write good work. And you can go to, school here, and they're teaching you something like the old style method, or old style Meisner, or whatever. You're going to be going to the real world, at least in the real markets. Like, I don't care if it's here, the Winter Movie TV show, or, Mexico, or the United States, or wherever.
Or doing a hobby.
What I'm saying here. Okay. No matter where you are, it's like they want the best work. And the best work is what touches you. I feel I can turn down the sound, and I still could laugh and cry in all the right places. That's the best work. That's why behavioral science is my backup. Behavior tells us everything. You stand there doing nothing. I don't know what's going on. I don't even hear you trying to understand your language. Because behavior creates the whole picture for us to understand. A picture's worth 1,000 words is a saying. I can see you saying, I love you, but you're brushing your hair with such venom, and you're saying, I love you. They really do, and so it's like, I can, I'm having problems with this person. But I just go, I love you, I really do. And it's like, it's like, there's a problem with this person. But, I don't know what. But, behavior is really, really important. And putting that in, I know just sitting in a chair or doing this, but you can do behavior in a chair. You could also ask them to pull back your camera and do it on your feet too. Your audition, it's your time, it's your money, took you over here. And you have the power to say, pull the camera back so that I can do what I want to do.
My question is, what kind of techniques or maybe tips you can give us for the concentration?
For example, in my case, I didn't have ADD or something.
You don't have ADD. Again, this will be my last question. Okay. The ADD is not going out of the head. I If I got a smooth surface and I'm trying to put varnish on there, it's not going to stick. It needs those nooks and crannies. It needs all those little details for the varnish to stick to the wood. So then, you need all those little details that make you not have to be because your head is so filled. So the other thing, this is what it does, takes your nervousness too. Because your mind, you got these blinders on. I gotta do this, and this is my personalizations, and this is what I'm thinking about is my inner objects, and each word is connected to. But if you're not time to think about anything else, then you're not doing your work. You're not doing your work. That's what you're able to do. There's nothing going on in your head. Because you're going to bring out something to attach itself to, so it's like, you know, I don't know, there's words where, oh, look at the pretty, because you have to work. The book also teaches you how to write on your page, write on the script, not on a separate piece of paper. Our brain compartmentalize. If I put something here and my script is here, I'm not going to connect it to it. Because our brains are linear. And so what happens is that I need to see these words are attached to these thoughts. I'll remember that. If the pages are, Jake Gyllenhaal, how he found me, you see my last story? He found me this month. So I was writing all over his page and he said, what's that? And he started to look at it, it's always your private stuff. And see, that's my work. And he said, well, I want to teach you how to do that. And he said, you gotta go to the teacher who teaches that. Go to Ivana Chubbuck, that's what she teaches. And so, and he's been up for Oscars, he's got a graduate career, and the rest is history. So it's like, it's about doing the work here. And that's the bottom line. You gotta do the work, you gotta study. And the book is a good precursor to understanding how to do it. It's very, very comprehensive. It is 4 years to write it, 25 rewrites to write it, and it's a damn good guide. People really have found that even without my being in front of them, change their life. It's so then rich with information. And it's not meant to be a one-or read, it's
It's really easy. It's just,
compliment of it.
how can we access to your workshops?
Okay, that's a good question. Okay. My website, my name is my website. There's a email on that. And there's also a phone number on that. But the email probably easy to send a lot of money. But there's an email on that. And then we're really good about Google, catching all students. So it's like we're very, the classes operate not from a group mentality. It's an ongoing workshop, very individually based. And so it's like I'm doing your stuff, and you're doing I'm doing your stuff, and everybody's. That's why we don't do 6 week courses. Everybody's different. Look at that. And it's just an